Good morning, my love buttons. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Hey, my baby, Hazel. Where's mom's baby? Two of Cups, true love. The Fool. Page of Swords in the reverse. Uh-oh. Okay. I know, that was a shitty thing to say. There's such a time like this, right after true love. Isn't that how it goes? Uh-oh. Alright, so I see that some of y'all fell in love, were living the life of your dreams, living your best life, and then looks like every problem that you guys ever had felt like it was gonna be A-okay. What you thought was amazing. You guys had the best times ever. And you really felt like it was for real, for real. You were like, man, I'm happier than I've ever been in my life. This is incredible. I'm not going to fight this feeling, you said, because we have the Page of Swords in the reverse. You were like, I am not even going to fight this. I am going with the flow. And I am feeling like my best self. Better than you've ever felt before, you thought. And, and then out of nowhere, Eight of Swords comes in. Now, Eight of Swords, I'm going to tell you right now, that is like literally the worst feeling ever. Eight of Swords is like, it's worse than somebody dying, in my opinion. Well, it is. It's as bad as like you losing your most important person in the world. It's like a dark night of the soul. It's a bad day. So, let's find out what's going on here. What is going on? What the fuck is going on? We gotta know what's going on. We gotta know what's going on today. I'm back. What, Mr. Depression? I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay, what is back? A fucking fire sign, dude. And a water sign be studying your every move, too. Maybe you're the water sign, maybe you're the fire sign, but whether you stand, somebody is about to f somebody up. And another sign is actually aware of this happening, and it's like, you got this one, like, I feel like your guys' energy is, like, matching. You're like, I'm watching you, bitch. And you're like, I am going to fuck you up. I'm like, oh, I'm watching you, bitch. And you're like, I'm going to fuck you up. And it's just like this push and pull because, like, I feel like, honestly, you guys manifested each other into your lives because you're on the same level. I got a blow dry session. Bear with me. I'm going to pause it so you guys don't have to bear with me too much longer. Hang on. Now let me tell you something about Mr. Depression. Fuck that guy. Because you know what depression is actually revolved around, you guys? Loving somebody who's depressing. And a lot of people, it's like, you know, even myself, for years, dude, I was so worried about having a lover. And, let's find out, actually. Forget about that personal story. I want to make sure that your person's not going through something actually real hard. That's way more important. Okay. What are they depressed about? Three of the Swords in the reverse. Well, that's heartbreak. It's over. That's what I thought was happening. I felt like the Eight of Swords should have been in the reverse. I feel like maybe the Eight of Swords came in because maybe you reconnected with somebody that maybe your family didn't want you to. I feel like there's like a possible lover that you guys are into. And I don't know, it looks like you guys are in love. You guys do great. You have the best time together. The Fool energy. You don't want to fight this connection. But then it's like Eight of Swords here. So maybe one of you got locked up. Somebody maybe interfered. Something here happened where somebody could have went through a depression. I'm just getting goosebumps. Oh, what goes on with you guys? Look at that. You little shit nuggets. You see it? Can you? Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what kind of love. Oh, I know this love, though. I know this kind of love, dude. And it is deep as fuck. And you know what's crazy about these kind of loves? It was James and Edward. The most powerful lovers I've ever had in my life. And it was when I was in the Eight of Swords. It's almost like you guys want to be together so bad. But the earthly realm doesn't have the means to support that. Like, your families don't support it. Your friends don't support it. Something doesn't support it. Five of Pentacles in the reverse. One of you in the relationship doesn't support it. You're carrying this other one's weight. This is so sad. This is probably why you guys as parents don't want you guys together, because there's a person in here that honestly is just like holding the other one back. You need to start eating lunch at work and stay out of drama. Some of you guys are meeting up with your partner on your lunch break, and you might be coming back late. You're coming back stressed. You're trying to contact them on lunch. Something about lunch, man. Like, you need to stay at work. You need to be focusing on work, because you got to keep your stuff in order, or this person's just going to literally ruin their life and yours. And I say that with respect. The truth is, at the end of the day, James and Edward did not get clean. They did not do what they needed to do. James overdosed, and Edward is literally somewhere on the streets out here in Spokane, high on fucking motherfucker, like he's like hella high on cocaine. He's weird now, and I do love Edward, but I have talked to him a few times, I'm not gonna lie. Strange man. You can really tell that he has went majorly downhill since our breakup. So that's where you would be too. And look at where James is. He overdosed. He ended up getting into heroin, and he got into other things that I luckily was not with him when he did. He collected diseases from cheating. He got Hep C and AIDS, and he got into heroin after we broke up and died. And if you guys are not going to do what you need to do together, then you need to do it by yourself, or vice versa. Because you will get all those things too. And then you'll be going through a deep sorrow, wondering how your life could have been, and it's just agonizing pain when you are that close to somebody who's not that close to themselves. It's like desperately trying to make anything make sense for this person, and they're just chaos. They're absolute chaos. This is why, yeah, the masculine energy in the reverse. I feel like you guys go to the Six of Cups here, because when you guys are apart from each other, it drops it down, to the Five in the reverse. But then it's like when you guys get back together with each other, it's so fulfilling for that one moment that it takes it up to that Six of Cups. It's not, doesn't seem healthy. Yeah, nope, in the reverse, you're like, I'm not giving this person up. I like this person. This person is the best sex I've ever had. This person is the deepest love connection I've ever felt. There's a variety of different feelings that you have for this person. It's called a karmic soul tie. I also just want to say that I feel like the meow is coming in because you have a sex hit. This person you're addicted to having sex with. Maybe you don't feel like anybody was better. And I'll confirm that just to be sure, because I don't want to say stuff that I don't know is true. But I just want to make sure that you're not actually addicted. What is that? Something flew off. I got to see what it was. I wanted to fly out. Okay, it's like, I got your answers right here. There's 5 cards, but whatever, dude. I guess it keeps us from shuffling. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Okay. 2 of Swords in the reverse. That's like options slowly going away, pain going away. But then it goes right back into the 7 of Swords. This person has trauma. This person has trauma. You have trauma. You guys have a trauma bond. Ace of Swords. This person's cuffed. It looks like in that thing. Look at where the Ace of Swords comes across their hands. It's like they're dropping the sword and they're cuffed. I feel like they're chained to some kind of addiction. Jeez, you guys are giving me goosebumps today. I don't know what the hell, man. This love is deep. You know what I just saw in my mind? That Robin Williams movie, What Dreams May Come, where Robin has to go back into hell to get his wife and save her. Yes, man. Deep ass shit. Oh, here they are. You really love this person. We have the King of Cups and the Reverse, and we also have the Four of Cups. This came up last night. This person, I don't know. This is kind of a follow of the last night's read about the prince that rescues the princess, but then gives her a farewell. Because again, the King of Cups is in the Reverse. You're offering this person option after option, choice after. They're like, babe, come on, please. Like, we got to do this. Like, you're sick. You're stressed. Like, you're starting to see signs from this person that are very concerning to you beyond anything that you've ever seen before. Some of you guys might have been dwindling around with this little fire that you both were into at first. But one of the people possibly freaking went skyrocket with the whole situation. They really got involved. Maybe you went to a party and you used something. Maybe you met some people. You started selling something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But like, this person fucking took it to the roof. And they can't stop. They're really invested into this fucking lifestyle. This person needs a lot of help. They could even be suicidal. They could be telling you, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna end my life. You know, things like that. And it's just like, it's so stressful for all of us right now, even me. It's sad as fuck. I can see where it could be just like, sort of life sucking. But I mean, obviously draining. It's too much. It's a lot, dude. This person needs professional help. I'm not kidding you. Before you both end up fucking needing professional help over the end result because nobody got it. Okay. We'll go ahead and put these ones away. Let's pull out from the Twin Flame deck because it's pretty freaking potent. It's no joke. The Twin Flame deck is like, it's a heartbreaker. It's a heart toucher. I even feel it still to this day. Edward is my living twin flame. But like I said, you know, I have talked to him a few times since we broke up. And I'll tell you what, that motherfucker's he's into coke bad. Coke's whatever for me. Never really got too much into it personally, just because shit only lasts 15 minutes, you know, and then you need another round. But who the fuck wants to pay 200 bones for fucking couple hours of time, you know? I fuck that shit. Give me something fucking longer and stronger. But that's what he's into. And everybody knows in his family. He probably acts like they don't know, but they do. And he fought so hard to do what he wanted. We already had this house. We had 2 vehicles. I gave him a vehicle. I gave him free rent. Took care of him. I went and visited him in all his treatments. Bought him brand new clothes. I even brought him roses to the treatment. I brought him everything. You know, people in treatment told him, I wish I had a woman that treated me as good as you did. You know, also the whole time he was in jail and prison, he was talking to multiple other women. Same with James. It's just how it goes when you're dating a criminal. Especially a male on the streets, I feel like. I feel like men have a very low tolerance level for what they will be attracted to or not, you know, before they're not attracted to you. They don't, a weak man will stay with a woman in a dramatic, chaotic setting because they're not a real man. And I say that with respect. Just like a real fucking woman wouldn't stay in a situation like that herself either. And I've just noticed that. I've been working with men and for the last 3 or 4 years in a different type of way than before. I've been actually just kind of like a more single individual. I've worked in Alaska and also tried dating recently since my 8-year relationship, and it's been an interesting experience to say the least. But I've just learned the difference between, men that are freaking crazy and chaotic and calm. And there are many men that are calm. They don't freak out the way that our freaked out boyfriends do, or girlfriends. There's women that are calm. I know, like, I've seen it. If you guys have a time away from the drama, from your family and from your lover that you're currently in, and you actually took off to a different town or a city, you would meet brand new people. And other than when you chose to get involved or answer your phone, you wouldn't be hearing of anything that sounded similar pretty much. The more time that you spend away from people that are doing the things that they're doing, the more other times you get to spend getting to know different ways of life and cultures and towns and cities and people. The first time that happened for me, I took off to Spokane from my little town. I grew up in a town with 1,200 people. Very small. And in this town, you really can't make mistakes. You can't really make a whole lot of mistakes in a small town because they've known you since you were pretty much a baby. They know who your parents are, and they know what your grades used to be. They know everything. Even when I started smoking, I used to be a track star. I remember my PE teachers, Mr. Lamb and Mr. Berryman. They weren't used to me acting like that, running slower. I started to turn into a little bit of a rebel after my sister died. That is such a pretty color. I don't think I should change it. Why am I changing it? I like it. Okay, so after my sister died, I went downhill. She died my freshman year. It was terrible. But when I moved up to Spokane, after I needed help for just being a crazy-ass bastard after that, I went from being a straight A extracurricular student to a straight rebel. Crazy shit. I went from hanging out with the preps to the bad kids, who I judged. Weird. It's because I didn't feel good, though. I realized that. When you feel down inside, sometimes it's just more comfortable to be around other people that feel like shit, too. Because they're not pushing you to feel better or do better. They're not asking you how you've been doing. They're not bringing up the subject. It's just out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean? That's why we go and hang out with people like that. Because it's easier being the coolest loser than being asked to take a good, deep, cold, hard look at our pain that we're suffering from. It's too much. You guys really need to just start round brushing your hair. You guys see how crazy and curly it is. You don't need a straightener. If you have a metal round brush and you have a focuser, it narrows the heat into that slim little... When you guys blow down on your hair, you have to blow downward. You can't blow at it. But if you blow down, it gives it that nice, sleek, shiny... See that? Look at it. It's freaking shiny and pressed and closed. Game changer. Life changer. I'll be right back. Okay. Making that progress. Somebody called and asked if I would cover a shift today at work, supposed to be my day off, but you know, I'm gonna do it because I love my crew. I'm the best. I feel like I'm a really good manager. I actually really love my job, and I feel like having my cuckoo ass fucking personality just makes for more fun at work, more fun at school. My classes to teach at school have always been the sophomores or juniors. I teach college students, and they're amazing. I never thought in the whole wide world I would have been blessed with the opportunity to become a teacher. Do you guys want to see my license? Where's it at? Go get it. I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. Isn't that crazy? I wanted to be a lawyer, but I ended up I switched programs and went for education instead. And I wanted to do psychology and law, but I was able to apply that into the youth or the students. I did psychology and I did education instead. And best decision I've ever made in my life. I feel like by being able to be here with all of you guys and see things from this completely different point of view has been the best experience ever, you guys, and I want that for you. Right before I became a teacher, I was in love with James. Handcuffed in the backseat of a cop car. DOC because I was on probation, dude, for shit that I was doing with James. In my red Astro van, running away, refusing to listen, sleeping in the van with a busted out window. Because I thought I was Fast and Furious, and I was coming around, hit a fucking fifth wheel. The big wide side van window, shattered everywhere. Luckily, my son was at my mom's that day. She always says that, too. I remember her saying that specifically. She said, I'm so fucking glad I had Skylar. That was her first grandbaby. I was 18-ish. Fucking leaving Tori, hooking up with James. Some of your guys' persons maybe got in a car accident too. It's because they're fucking running around with two people for one, if they're acting like I was. I was with Tori and James at that time. My kid was at my mom's. I was acting like a fucking idiot. And my mom kept trying to call the police on me over and over to stop me from leaving the house, the farm. We had a farm, we still have a farm, it's beautiful. It's everything my mom worked hard for and I love it. Best thing about that fucking town. But I didn't have tabs on my van, so she would call the police every time I left the driveway and tell them, oh, Tara's driving without tabs. Tara's driving without tabs. I shit you not, I got a damn fucking ticket 10 out of 12 months that fucking year. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna beat your ass, Mom. You know what I did every time I got pulled over? Took the ticket, crumbled into a ball, and tossed it in the back seat. Do you know how long it took me to pay off the fines? For one summer, the summer of 2007. Me and James, we had the best time. We were gonna do whatever we want. 12 fucking years of legal shit over my relationship with James. Felon, and I'll take responsibility, but I'll tell you what, had I fucking respected myself and my mom's, anybody, I was completely out of line acting that way. One time I wanted to leave. I wanted to be with James so fucking bad, dude. No matter what. Dude, look at my eyes even right now. I can feel the intensity even talking about this. I don't think I've ever looked like this in a read, dude. Take me back to 2007. My first dark night of the soul. Shit was no joke. I wanted James so bad. We were bad together. Robbing people, doing heavy drugs. sneaking away, not taking care of either one of our kids. He had a daughter, I had a son. Both of us were fucking losing it. Homeless, by choice, living in a van. Both lost our jobs because we were fucking retarded. We were acting stupid. I didn't end up signing up for college like I was gonna. I graduated high school, but then I took off with James. And was just stupid, dude. Ridiculous. But I don't regret it. Because you know what? Today I'm a brand new person. I went from being, like I said, a straight A fucking preppy ass student who judged people to pregnant and fucking an addict. And a felon. Without a baby daddy. That's great. And a bunch of legal issues. It was honestly extremely humbling. And one day, again, I'm at my mom's, dude. Because honestly, my mom's been the only fucking badass my whole fucking life who she never walked away. She never fucking let me down. Honestly, she didn't. She's a good fucking woman. And, you know, it's taken me all these years to fucking realize that. And I'm going down there next week and spend a few days with her, and really excited, actually. And I just want to take good care of her from here on out and just honestly grow the fuck up and just let her know that, you know what, I am so fucking sorry, honestly. I'm telling her right now, because you know what, she's amazing, and she's probably gonna think I'm a lunatic. Guarantee it. She doesn't know why I say the weird shit that I do, because you know what, to be honest, I go back and forth with it. But she really is the best mom in the whole wide world. I love you, Mom. I miss you so much, and I can't wait to see you next weekend. What? It's a good start. You heard it, though. It's true. Okay, anyways, that's the best I can do. That's what I mean when I say I send people messages, like, and it's like, I mean to say something else, but that's, like, it's what I do. I always do that. Every time I go to say something that I really mean to say, I'm like, I love you so much. I guess it's true. Anyways, just know. Okay, so anyways, Mom. Crazy ass mom, dude. She's no joke. She fucking crazy, dude. I have so many fun stories to tell you about my mom. The way she caught me. She's a fucking real ass mom, dude. She's not the type of mom that doesn't know what's going on. She's the type that's gonna fucking be watching every damn thing that you're doing, which is what we need, because we're still troublemakers to this day, you know what I mean? And then, you know what? If it's really the only person that we had in our life that fucking we knew no matter what. You know what? If I ever died, I'd want my mom to have my passwords to everything. Because she's the real one who's gonna fucking look into it. She would never, like, miss a detail. Anyways, I wanted to go be with James. I was in my red Astra van like usual. She had taken the keys from me. She'd hidden my keys. She didn't want me to leave. And I was freaking out. Real hard. Screaming. I was probably 19 or so, something like that. Flipping the fuck out, dude. Screaming. Gonna cause a big problem at the house. And you know what? My mom she didn't give me the keys back for a real long time. She actually threw them on the roof of the trailer. And it's not like I would have been able to get to the top of the trailer without my mom blocking me and shit. So I continued to freak out. Throwing a scene, being ridiculous. And finally I get the keys back, right? Well, my mom has metal cow gates around the entire farm that link shut. She has to literally slide these heavy gates. And she fucking literally has a chain around it and padlocked it. While I am starting my van after she finally gives the keys back, only because I'm being a piece of shit, dude. I turn the van on and I start revving it up, dude. I tell her to open those fucking gates, dude. I want to be with James now. And she wasn't opening the gates. And I revved the van up, and I revved the van up, and I fucking threatened to ram through the van. I'm gonna fucking ram through your van. Or I'm gonna ram through your fence. I'm gonna ram through your fence, dude. I kept telling her, and I remember, dude, she just stood there. I was freaking out in the van, fucking hitting that gas, threatening her with her life, her property, saying I was gonna fucking smash her shit, open that fucking gate. She didn't. And I didn't ram it either. And I don't know, maybe I cried. I don't know, maybe I yelled. I don't remember what happened after that. I only remember one thing about that. She looked at me later on, probably in a different conversation. But she told me, Tara, I knew that day that you were gonna ram my fence when you did it. She said, I knew you had self-control. And I don't know, I think it gave her hope. I don't know what I feel like, why I feel like this, but I do remember that day. And don't think that you doing these type of things for the person in your life who might be acting like me, they will probably honestly not be the person with you that you wanted to be. I know that you know what's best for them and what they need and don't need. I did end up moving away, and I needed space and I needed time to understand what I was feeling without blaming the person that was the one who loved me the most, which was my mom. And that could be what's happening to you with your person, is that when you are the one that loves these people the most, they're the most ashamed to be around you. And I know that you're like, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. They are, though. We are, though. Because we do want to please you. We really do. We want to be the best, too. But we also really are into this whole other thing. And it took me many years. Like I said, that was 2007 alone. That was not the year that I started using. That was the year that my mom thought it needed to get legal, because I wasn't stopping and I was doing a lot of illegal shit. I was robbing houses, I was robbing cars, I was stealing cars. We were doing really crazy stuff. We were jumping people, we were sneaking into houses that were not ours and staying there. We were robbing our parents. We got real crazy. We were on the no pawn lists. We were doing ridiculous stuff, dude. Like I said, I got so many charges, dude. I got a couple of felonies. I went to jail multiple times. They knew me by my face, my name, my record, my car. And now that I don't live there, thank God. Up here, for us in Spokane, it's the second most biggest city in Washington. So there's plenty of other people out here doing some stuff that, might even be worse than what I'm doing. Personally appreciate that, because when I moved out of town, I wasn't looked at. Nobody cared who I was. They didn't even know who I was. And that was nice. Up here, I'm known as Mrs. Dana. Miss Dana, I'm not married. That's just straight my dad's name. So I'm Miss Dana up here. It's a lot different than a Dana down in Grant County. You know what the Danas are known for in Grant County? Criminals, drug addicts, drug cooks, robbers, thieves. Dangerous. We're dangerous. We're considered dangerous in my hometown. Our whole family. Well, not really, I shouldn't say that. Me, my dad, my sister, and my two brothers have definitely got a lot going on there. And then my mom's kind of involved too, because she's the one who's had to fucking deal with all of our shit, dude. My dad, started all this when he was 16. If not earlier. My dad literally started cooking meth at 16 years old. We were all doing it, to be honest. We all cooked with my dad. I was the one who had to dry the jars. You have to use different jars. And it was crazy. Like, you have to go into a tunnel. My dad would dig tunnels, really deep tunnels. Or we would go out into a field out in the middle of nowhere. It was very cold. And it was just actually just like, I don't know, that's what we did with my dad.
and we would go to the dump. I remember my dad would have, he would have wire cutters, and he always would go to the dump fence and he'd cut it open, and he would always say to us, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And those were things that we did as a little kid. That was what we did when we hung out with Dad. That's why my mom didn't want us to go over there for visits. That's why she fought very hard in court to make sure that we couldn't. She finally did get his rights terminated, and it took her years and years of fighting. But, we didn't need to be doing that kind of stuff. I remember one time she said she came over and seen us in it was probably the third story or higher window open, just yelling at her, Those type of things scare mom. Nobody wants to see their baby, up in a window, fucking capable of falling out and shit. I remember what my mama said. And now as an adult, I can respect her. And I can be like, damn, you know what? She was being a good fucking mom. What mom wouldn't do that? But I also just want to bring it to your attention that when people grow up living like this, they really don't know what you're talking about when you tell them to fucking get it together, or why are you doing that? What do you mean? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Literally. It wasn't until I met all of these other people and became a teacher, a stylist, a barber, a beautician, that I started to hear stories that I'd never heard before about the way people lived their life versus mine. And I was like, whoa, there's a lot of different ways to live life. I realized coming up here to Spokane that obviously every town is different. It was nothing like Grant County. And then one time I even broke down in Cle Elum with Chris Dumpsey. We were stuck there for 12 hours. That was the day I learned the word contentment. And that means that you're happy with whatever you have, wherever you are. And I knew that day that when we were broke down for 12 hours, contentment just came to my brain. I thought, okay, well, what a day to learn that. But we had a good time. I thought, how can I be content? So we walked around the town, and we had lunch. We didn't have much money. My stepdad, John, came and got us. But Cle Elum was very different also. Oregon's different. Montana's different. Florida's different. Minneapolis is different. Vegas is different. And so, slowly but surely, I started to see I was just one small little speck in a big old world. And that everyone thinks different. And then I got even deeper. And I realized even my lover thinks different than me, and that's the one we make love to. My mom thinks different than me. She's the one who birthed me. My sisters, my siblings, my best friend, we all have differences. And I was like, this is really cool to learn. Because for our whole life, we've been hearing things about right and wrong, common sense, this and that. It's confusing. And sometimes we just gotta see people for what they are and what they enjoy. And if it's not honestly really like drugs or abuse, if this person wanted to go live in the middle of nowhere as a hippie without any home or life or job, you know what I mean? There's just a million different ways to live life and do things. And sometimes we just gotta look at the different things and the people that come into our life as moments that we enjoy. And I can tell you right now, with relationships, if I could give you one piece of advice, it would be to fight as little as you can, to pick your battles. My dad always said, pick your battles, Tara. He was always so positive, even though he was doing the things that he was doing, he was always so positive. He would say, pick your battles, Tara. And he's so right about that. Life is hard. And every time we fight with each other, it is like Mortal Kombat. And your life light gets a little smaller and smaller and smaller. Every blow, every word, every mean day. it kills that life light in relationships. And yeah, you can still overcome the anger part, and you know, even though me and Edward are still friends, you know what I mean, but women can be a little bit more aggressive most of the time than men, I feel like, with their approach. And I've just learned over the years that men are actually pretty patient with women for the most part. Some men are not. Some men are just ridiculous, but those are not men. Those are little boys who still have childhood trauma. And look at me doing makeup over tears. That's my life. Anyways, I have to go to work. Just take each other a little bit slower and a little bit be more gentle on each other, and know that just think of every relationship as that life light on any of your video games, and just know that every time you choose to say something rude, every time you have to say I'm sorry, every time you didn't say I'm sorry, I mean, enjoy. Know that you have to come in whole in relationships, which means that you're taking care of yourself before that. It means that you're not still grieving an ex. It means that you are not financially struggling, that you're not involved in things that are going to distract you from giving 100% to a relationship. And a relationship is not fun and games, you guys. It's actually a big, consistent schedule. A relationship needs to be on schedule. It needs to be healthy, because everyone in the home has to be on a schedule. Do you know what a good relationship would be? You guys waking up, making sure that everybody's up and moving for the day, that the house is tidied up as you go, that the laundry's done, that the yard work's done, that the bills are paid, that everybody's working. There's going to be repairs that need to be done, kids that are going to have. There's going to be school functions. There are just so much. When you're talking about being in a relationship, you guys, it's different than actually being single and just fucking around. So it's, a lot of people want that experience of a brand new relationship every single day. And then when things start to get tough, they want to act like it's stressful and that they don't want to follow through. Well, that's what a relationship is. So if you think that you are just going to have this love of your life experience, you need to ask yourself, like, if you're really ready for a relationship, because that means commitment. It means you're not going to be out hanging out with your friends at night, and you're not going to just be able to do whatever you want. And there will be a lot of, you're going to need to go to bed on time. You're going to need to be able to care for your family, be there. You're going to also have to hold up a standard between you and your partner that your friends and your family support. So you can't really complain and be bitching saying, oh, this person's fucked me over, they're a piece of shit. Because when we announce those things to our people, obviously they're going to be concerned that we are seeing somebody that we are crying over often. People don't care if, they definitely care, but they don't mind if you want to stay with somebody that you have a problem that needs resolving with. They care when you continue to complain out loud about the problem, and it just starts to become a public problem, a noticeable problem, a toxic issue, and then it's a concern. It's just like, well, what do you want people to think? What were you thinking they were going to start feeling like, after we complained about this person being so damn supposedly toxic, blah, 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 this person's so bad, this person's this person's that. Holy shit, they're thinking, why are you with this person then? So we just got to start really just understanding that if we are not complete before we enter relationships, or they're not complete, we're not going to come in and make up for what the other one doesn't, and there's not going to be two people doing it together. That's not the way it works. You got to be whole so that you can spend that first year really just enjoying each other, getting to know each other, planning a few trips, seeing how the other one reacts. I heard that we're not supposed to even talk about anything serious until we've done a few of those things because you want to see how your person reacts going through stuff like that. It's important to know if this person's going to flip out, because people can actually hold a specific composure and appear a certain way for a long period of time if they're actually out to get something from you, and they're not going to be able to commit to love. And so it recommends that you book a few trips, see what happens. Like, let's just give an example. Like, if their luggage was lost, you're going to want to see, how does this person react? Do they freak out? See, maybe ask if you get yourself into a few situations to see really, what their moods are and how their coping skills are. And are they somebody who's like proactive towards finding solutions, or are they somebody who cries and whines? Are they somebody who stays sad and stuck for a long time? You got to really understand that if this person is not mature and capable of taking care of themselves alone, and you're not patient enough to know your worth, you'll get caught up in relationships that are going to have 12 years of fucking consequences. 18 if you have kids. I mean, it's a lot. So love is a lot different than passion. Most of us I think a lot of us at one point were looking for love, but we were into people that were looking for passion. And I think now that I think what is happening is that we're finally learning how to put that energy and that effort into ourselves. And it's really important. If we even loved ourselves half as much as we spent paying attention to other people, then our life would be dynamically better. And look at how good you're already doing right now. And you're probably only using 10 to 20% of your potential, because you haven't met if you would allow yourself to step out of this little fucking small little ball of space that you occupy yourself in and see that the world is literally humongous, there's just a lot more opportunities out there, and I definitely encourage you to enjoy them. Take off to Alaska. Go to a different city. Even if you're arrested, it doesn't matter. I didn't have to come up here. I could have got out of jail the next day and went back to my apartment. But they told me straight up, you fuck up again, I'm taking Halo right from you when you have her at the hospital. I didn't want to lose my baby. So I came, gave up everything, took that leap of faith, and my life has been better than it's ever been before, and I'm not done. I can't wait to sell this house and get a motorhome and travel the whole world and spend all the time that I want at every ocean and every forest. And that's my goal. I want to sell this house and get the kids through school and maybe we can travel a little bit before they turn 18 and enjoy some time together without a boyfriend. I'm not planning on fucking having a man in that motorhome with me. My ultimate dream now is actually, which is interesting, I finally got that house. I finally can pay my bills by myself. Got a car, got a license. And you know what's interesting? I actually don't want to fucking get married and settle down right now. I do enjoy my time with my men. I love doing date nights, and it's great, but they have their own thing, and I got mine. And it's been like that for 3 years now. Big difference. I get to spend all my time now at home with my kids, and that's it. Family's the only one that comes over other than who I rent to. So, not really big on friends anymore, and I'm definitely not obsessed with having a lover. I enjoy my time with my lover. And that's what I want you to get to. Enjoy you for once and for all. Love you.